All right, so everybody, appreciate you being here again. My name is Tony Procopio. I'm logging in from New Fairfield, Connecticut. I'm one of the founding advisors here at Think Energy. My wife and I, Diana, along with Jim, Brendan, and Ed Kenny, and Lisa Kenny. So we have quite a team of people who are putting this thing together from the founding advisor standpoint, and we have an incredible team of people who have come aboard since that time that are building. And so we appreciate everybody and all the work that you guys are doing. And, there's a lot of things happening with Think Energy. So if you haven't really kept up to date or seen the progression of where we are and you're not fully up to speed, I'd like to do that now and take a few minutes and just share with you like what's going on in the background with Think Energy. What are you going to find on the internet? What are people going to find on the internet when you approach them about being a customer or being an advisor or both? Or maybe you approach them and they've already found some information out about Think Energy before you even get to them. So that's a possibility as well. So definitely a lot of things happening here. What I like to think about is this. Whenever you're dealing with the internet, it is always better to be providing people with information about your company, your opportunity, your offer, your service, whatever you're doing, doesn't matter if it's Think Energy or anything else. It's always better to be proactive, to be out in front of the information and let people know what they're going to find in advance before they find it, so that they don't come back to you and say, hey, you were kind of hiding this from me or something like that. Like, I like to be full disclosure to people. And if you're going to give full disclosure to people, that means you need to be well researched yourself. You need to be prepared. You need to know what your company is all about and what's going on, in the background of the company. Why are reviews good? Why are reviews bad? I mean, there's always going to be good and bad on the internet. It's a matter of filtering through that and kind of pointing it out to people before they have a chance to figure it out on their own. So it's always a better position. You'll always come from a better position, a position of strength, when you do that. So let's talk further about that and get into kind of the real details here. And the way you have to think about this is you need to know that there's a new Think Energy and there was an old Think Energy. Okay. And how that came about, how it happened. So Think Energy, that name has been around since like the early 2000s, like literally. It's been around for a long time. That company, they were owned by Engie. Engie is a French company, and they're a massive, generator of electricity in the world. They're one of the largest. And so they own this company, Think Energy. They started it. They got licensed in a number of states, and they were bringing customers aboard for retail electricity supply, sometimes for gas as well, but mainly it was retail electricity supply. And they did that and they operated and they said, hey, let's go into the market in the deregulated markets, just like we are with Think Energy. And let's help people save money or get different rates for their electric bills so that they can have more choice. So Think Energy, owned by Engie, did that. And they basically kind of neglected the company is what they did. Like Engie neglected Think Energy. They just kind of let it flounder. It just sat there. Like they would bring customers on and they didn't have a great call center. They weren't really doing, weren't really running the company that well. And so it kind of like ran into the ground over time is what happened. And they just ignored it. And it sat there and they started losing customers and shedding customers. And, so then Energy Well comes along and Mike Falquist gets $100 million investment from Oaktree Capital, which is a subsidiary of Brookfield, as we know. And, he looked around and said, hey, we're going to get into this market as well. Do we go out and get our own licenses from scratch and make up a new company name? Or do we go look around to see if maybe we can save a boatload of money by acquiring licenses from a company that may not be using them properly, may not want them anymore? It'll get us into the game faster. And so that was a smart decision. So Mike Falquist found Think Energy, decided, hey, and he came to us, he came to me and Brendan, Jim and Ed and said, well, what do you guys think? Do you want to take this company, Think Energy? We're thinking about acquiring this company. And, instead of rebranding the name, we'll just get the licenses, and we'll get into the market faster if we keep it at Think Energy, and then we'll work on improving the image over time. And that was the decision. And so we were like, yeah, I mean, we'd rather be in the market faster. We don't want to wait 6 months or a year. We wouldn't even be open yet if we had gone the regular traditional licensing route, and it would have cost a lot more money. So, for kind of pennies on the dollar, Mike Fahlquist acquired Think Energy, and then they rebranded it. So that's what's going on. Now, when they acquired Think Energy, they acquired all of the old customers that came in through the old Think Energy platform. And that platform still exists today in some of the areas, like in Texas. And so if you may see some reviews from old customers that came on Think Energy by Angie back in the day, and they're putting reviews up now about their experience from the old Think Energy. So just so you know, so Think Energy by Energy Well took over all their customers. They started moving them into a new system, and now there's a new way of doing things, and those customers will be, brought into the fold as we expand, and they'll have the opportunity to come aboard on the new platform with new offerings. So that's why a lot of people will see customers in different states talking about offerings and experiences that, when you read it, it has nothing to do with us. It's not what we offer. They're talking about like 3-month rates and 4-month rates and 6-month rates and 12-month rates, and we don't do any of that. So just to give you an idea, that's the background just about Think Energy, old Think and new Think. And why we're doing this, and why we decided to enter into the market quickly. Now, this slide that we have in our presentation is one of the best things you can use with people, or at least the information from it. Maybe you share it with them, maybe you explain it to them. That's up to you. But it tells the story of Mike Fahlquist and how we have an award-winning executive team, and where he was before, and how he got $100 million investment, and then acquired Think Energy, and then rebranded and relaunched Think Energy. And if you now see, one of the first websites that people were really putting reviews up on, and where there were a ton of old reviews, like 211 old reviews on this site on Trustpilot from the old Think Energy, before Think Energy, before Energy Well ever acquired Think Energy, there were 211 reviews there, and they were all pretty much negative. So now, since then, there's about 35 new reviews, and most of that is positive. Now, at the time when we acquired Think Energy, the Trustpilot rating was literally like 1.5, 1.5 out of 5. It's just terrible. It was a terrible, they ran the company in a terrible way. And so, so what happened is, we took that company over, and now what we did is we created a new profile for people to put reviews up on, so that we could show there's a new Think and there's an old Think. And people were like, well, there's still old Think Energy up there, and people are kind of, confusing it. Well, now Trustpilot has agreed to merge that all together with us, which is great. And now we can move forward. And when they merged it together, at the initial day, right when it was merged, it was a 3.7 rating. Then I saw at the end of the day, it went to 3.8, and then 3.9, and then 4.0. And now today, it actually went from 4.0 to 4.1. So that's where we are now. So we're encouraging everyone to make sure that encourage your customers, yourself. If you're a customer with Think Energy, you can put a review up there. If you are an advisor, but you happen to also be a customer, you should put a review up, an honest review. We want the good, the bad, and the ugly. We want it all. We're not telling everybody, hey, just only go post up if you're, if you have a good review. No, tell all your customers. Mike Fahlquist and Think Energy, Brad, everybody, they want all of the new customers to put up their reviews, honest reviews. That's what we want. And what we're seeing is that the honest reviews that are coming out are stellar. I mean, it's incredible what we have here with the new customers, not the old customers that might have a bad experience, the new customers that have come onto the platform through the new Think Energy. So that's what's going to happen. And you'll see this rating rise. It'll go to 4.2 and 4.3 and 4.5. It'll just keep going up. And that's what we have, because we're doing business the right way. So that's a little bit of background just about, what where we are and how this is operating and kind of where you can find information and what you should be sharing with people. But one of the things that you can also do is this is from our Think Big Telegram group. So if you want to join our Telegram group, download the Telegram app. It's called Telegram on Android, and it's called Telegram Messenger on iOS, on iPhone. So, and then you can go to the links are, in our training slides and things like that, but you can go to bit.ly/think big telegram, bit.ly/think big telegram, and you can join the Telegram group. And in there, one of the first posts we have is the link to a bunch of press releases. And this tells the story. I love to do this with people. I send these to people whenever I talk to someone about becoming a customer or an advisor. I'm always, at the very least, I'm going to share with them, information about the rebranding. I mean, that's the very least I'm going to do, which is right at the bottom, February 2023. It talks about how Think Energy announces a rebrand and a new sales channel, but I like to give them the full story. I like to show them that, hey, in November of 2021, we got a $100 million investment. And then in 2022, February, launch of a new technology platform. And then in June of that year, last year, new community solar division. December, acquired Think Energy. There you go. February, relaunched and rebranded. So this allows you to tell the story with people, the new Think versus the old Think. All right, so that's what's going on. Now, we also have, obviously, we're doing business a different way, and our slides help you out with this too, because now we're a third-party energy supplier that's focused on long-term, stable, affordable, fixed rate plans. The old Think Energy did not do that. The old Think Energy did not do community solar as well. That's another offering where we have totally different offerings, nothing to do with the old Think Energy. We also have a customer referral program. The old Think Energy did not have that either. That free energy program is incredible. It's an incredible platform. No one else has anything like this. No one is doing this. Let's put it this way. No one has a free energy club program that is so easy as ours, to start receiving a benefit by referring other customers. And so it's very powerful. So this is brand new. Great to share that with people. Let them know that the states that we're in, this slide right here, is something you can share with people too, because we talk about the new Think Energy. We're focused on 100% clean energy, not the old Think Energy. We have long-term competitive rates with no cancellation fees, not the old Think. So see, there are customers that are still on the old platform with, as I said, we acquired those customers. They came in before we even existed. They're on plans that they selected, and there's a contract with those plans, and they have to stay on those plans. They can cancel it. Maybe there's a fee, whatever it is, from the old Think Energy when they signed up at that time. They have to abide by that. We have to abide by it, and they do as well. But they're free to come over and cancel anything that they're doing with the old Think and connect up with our new services and products. So we have those cashback rebates and the free energy club and rainforest protection. These are all things, every one of these benefits is new with the new Think Energy. And so that's something you can share with people. Why wouldn't you? And then also community solar is something else that you can share with people, especially if you're in states that are already open or are about to open. Like if you're in the yellow states, you can just share it with them right now. Hey, this is what we're doing. And, Think Energy has never done this before because we're brand new. The other states that are green and orange here, those states, you can start telling the story as well and share this with people. These are just things that I'm noticing that I share with people, that leaders are sharing with people, to let them know in advance before they start doing research on their own. It's kind of like this. One of my good friends told me a long time ago, he said, if it left to their own devices, people will screw it up every time. So if you leave your potential customer or your potential advisor to their own devices to go and do their own research, they're going to screw it up every time, because most people don't have the time to research anything properly. And most people don't know how to research something properly in the first place. They just look at the internet, see the first thing they saw, and they believe that that's the truth. But that's not the case with what we're doing with Think Energy here, obviously. So you have to look at the whole story. So sharing that is great. Maybe you share this slide. This is a great slide to share with people about the benefits of community solar and how it's different than rooftop solar and has nothing to do with third-party electricity supply. So maybe that's what you share. There's a lot of different ways that you can move through this. And there's I'm just putting this up on the screen so that we have it. There are links to our events. If you want to join the Telegram channel, there it is. If you want to see our team documents or our official Facebook channels, yes, you can do that. And also our YouTube channel where you can get these links. Where you can get the recordings and watch these trainings and business overviews. And then there's the schedule that we're kind of settling in on here. All right. So, but I'm going to share my screen a little bit here too, because I want you to see what these, press releases look like. I mean, we've simplified. I'm going to go back to that press release page. We've simplified this, with these quick links. That's why we put them into the Telegram channel so that you can take these quick links and save them to your phone. I like to put them in a notepad app so that they're accessible and I can just copy and paste. That's what I do. But you can take these and you can send these short links out to people with the synopsis there. You can just copy and paste the text and the link and send these out to people so that you take up some of their research time, so that you steer them in the direction of where the real information is that's actually telling the story of what we're doing, as opposed to them just going and finding some customer review online from someone who joined Think Energy 3 years ago, had a terrible experience with the old Think Energy, and they're thinking that we're that same company and we're not. So just want to make sure you know that. That's something that's very important. That's why we have these press releases here. I'll get back to the screen with all the links on it, but I'm also going to start a new share and share with you a little bit, just so you can kind of see what people are seeing, on the internet. So let me share. Let's see. Let me do this the right way. I think I had stopped the share. Yes, I did. There we go. So let's look at some of these Think Energy review sites. So if you take a look here, and let me get onto full screen as well so you can kind of see this a little bit better. So here's the Think Energy review site. Just a few days ago, we only had like 230 reviews. Now we have 248. You can see on this site how things are outpacing. I mean, look at this. 62% of the reviews are 5-star reviews now. And the number of reviews that are 1-star, that's starting to diminish. And that's from the old Think Energy. Now, again, there are some people who are posting things up on here that are old customers posting new information or new feelings or new experiences because they are stuck in old plans from the old company, and we're advising them to get out of those plans and switch to our new suite of offerings. So just so you know, that's kind of what's going on there. But look at the ratings. I mean, it's great. We're rated great. And eventually when we hit like 4.3 or 4.4, we'll be rated excellent. And so we're heading in that direction. So that's a great place to be. And then check out these. Here's the press releases. I mean, this is what you're sending out to people to let them know that Energy Well announces $100 million capital commitment. I mean, this is a big deal. It's a great article. Anybody who reads the first paragraph of this article, it makes sense to them. This stuff will help you outweigh any of the negativity that's coming from, other sources that are out there. And then here's the one where Energy Well announces the launch of their new global technology licensing business. This talks about the Proton platform app. There it is. See, the proprietary technology platform called Proton talks about what we're going to be doing. It's a really great article. It's short and it's to the point. Mike and the team have made these articles very readable. You don't have to go through pages and pages. It gives a little about Think Energy at the bottom, but the main articles are definitely like quick hit information. Check this one out. Here's when in June of last year, when Energy Well announced their new community solar business, the new division. Great. It talks about community solar and about where the industry is headed and where we're headed. So that's there. And then here's the next press release where Energy Well completes the acquisition of Think Energy and enters into a preferred supplier agreement with Engie. See, go figure. why wouldn't we enter into a partnership with Engie? They're a massive, generator of electricity worldwide. And so they're one of our preferred partners. They're not the only one, but we have a preferred supplier agreement with them after we acquired the company that they ran into the ground and just ignored, because they're not really a retail electric supplier. They're more of a generator of electricity. And so they didn't know how to manage that company properly. So we bought Energy Well, acquired the company from Engie. They acquired Think from Engie, and now we entered into that supplier agreement with them where we can utilize their energy when we want to in North America as well. And so you have that. And then here's some more. Look, here's the rebrand that came out in February. There was a subsequent article that came out in April as well to let people know in a slightly different way that it's being rebranded and relaunched. So you have the February and you have the April editions of the rebranding and relaunch of Think Energy. It goes in and talks about, there's interviews with Brad Tales in here, talks about us, our network, and how we have a new marketing arm that's been set up within this channel. Within Think Energy's platform. And then this one just came out. This was a Newswire release that came out, I think it was June 9th. So this is just like, 11 days ago. We unveiled a new website and customer benefits program for a cleaner, affordable energy future led by Michael Falquist. This is a great article, just came out. So if you haven't read this, bookmark it. I'm going to bookmark this in the with a shortened link in the Telegram group as well, so that you can have it. But it's a great article, great read, and the online presence is being improved. That's the point. And that's one of the things that I wanted to share with you. So now what I will also do is, let's do this. Let's go and type in BBB Think Energy. So let's type in BBB Think Energy, because, Better Business Bureau Think Energy. Well, what does it come up with? Well, here it is. Here's the Better Business Bureau profile for Think Energy. So let's see what we see here. Now, this is going to change. It's in the process of being updated. You're going to see this change. See these customer review ratings? That's where they are. It's just like where it was at the time with Trustpilot. And so you're going to see a whole bunch of old stuff there that's been sitting there. And now we're tackling, Think Energy is tackling the Better Business Bureau to improve the profile there. So you see, not Better Business Bureau accredited. So one of the first things we'll do is to become Better Business Bureau accredited. Then once we do that, and all of the information, see contact information, it shows the new Think Energy is now listed as Green Farms Connecticut. That's where we are. That is our company. But if you look as you go down, through this, if you go down further, maybe it's not going to show up on this screen. But if you go and if you look further into this, like who owns it, they actually still have the old owners of the company listed here, because it's listed as a multi-location business. And so we're in the process of taking that business profile and changing it so that Mike Falquist shows up on there, so that, people who are affiliated with the new Think Energy show up there. So as that happens, and once we get that fully switched over, then we're going to advise people, not now, not until it's fully switched over and we're accredited, but once we are, we're going to encourage everyone to do the same thing that we've done with Trustpilot, which is go in there and put honest reviews in as a customer. And so that's where we're headed, you guys. I mean, it's definitely happening. Let me just stop my screen share on this as well and go back. But that's where we are. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat box, and we'll get to some questions and things like that. And let me share my screen again just from this perspective here, so you can have the links as well. And then if we have some questions we need to take verbally, we can do that as well. But look, people, here we go, right? I mean, it's just definitely. So Mark, thanks for being here. Mark from Ohio, appreciate all your work and getting things done out in the Ohio market with the meetings that you're doing and jumping on and supporting and doing presentations in the evening. We appreciate that. So Steve, so are you saying old Think Energy customers are currently being offered different products as part of the transition? No, they were offered different products. back before they were acquired, before we acquired Think Energy. Those plans have to stay intact because they're a contract. The only Think Energy plans that are available are plans that we offer through our Think Energy website now. So no, there's no separate plans. Any customer that's an old Think Energy customer on the Engie old Think Energy plans, they're free to cancel those plans and then select one of our new plans. So that's how it works. Yep, absolutely. So fantastic there, Jeff. People usually look for negative information directly. Yes, including like Think Energy scam, but you can do that with everything on the planet and find something. Yep, you definitely can. So can you help us, Danielle, can you help us navigate around the article about Mike Falquist being a Ponzi scheme, fraud, et cetera? You know, that's just plain and simple. I mean, that's an easy one to navigate. $100 million investment. Okay. So Mike Falquist, anybody can, like I said, anybody can say anything about anybody, you know, that doesn't mean that it's true. So you have to go with the facts, Danielle. This is very simple. Anytime somebody says this is a scam, I'm like, okay, this is a scam or a Ponzi scheme or a fraud, et cetera. I'm like, so you think that's what it is? So you're telling me that a $100 billion company, see, I'm just going to go with the facts here. I'm going to be like, look, now that you said that, let's look into this further. I'm going to send you this article, and I send them that article, the $100 million investment. So you're telling me that a $100 billion company called Brookfield that does $100 billion in revenue, that's publicly traded and has a subsidiary called Oaktree Capital, which is a multi-$100 million company itself. You think that they looked at Mike Falquist with all their lawyers, all of their people that do all their research. You think that they looked and did less research than you? And then they gave him $100 million to start out a brand new sustainable energy platform and create a best-in-class sustainable energy platform. So you think that that company somehow, they didn't figure it out, but you did. I mean, that's what you have to talk to people about, because there's no way that in 2 seconds, somebody who Googles something on the internet and says it's a fraud, it's a scam, whatever, if they have any sense about them, it would be totally unreasonable for them to say that again after you point out that article. You can't have it both ways. Okay. Then now you say, okay, well, now Think Energy has acquired, now Energy Well, owned by Mike Falquist, with $100 million investment, then went and acquired a company called Think Energy. And they took over the licenses, and that got approved by regulators in 13 states. So you think that a company with $100 million investment that just acquired licenses in 13 states and then went through the regulatory process with all the lawyers and all the hurdles and the government, all the red tape, and got approved to hold those licenses and be an approved licensed utility company, a utility supplier in the state. You think that that 13 states somehow didn't figure out that it's a scam, but you did. See, that's how you have to talk to people about these things. You use the tools that you have, you use the facts that we have. Those press releases, that series of press releases, that will help you overcome any objection that comes up, any objection that comes up. I'm telling you, those press releases, the progression of those, one to the next, that's why I share it with people and I follow up with them. And I'm like, now, after you've read these articles and you see what's really going on, and now you see what's happening with the Trustpilot. Trustpilot is our best example. Yeah, used to be an old company doing business the wrong way. New owners, new company, new services, new products. Look what happens to the ratings. See, that's what we're talking about. So, you know, if someone's just going to be negative because they just don't want to do something, like you approach them about becoming an advisor or a customer, and then they just don't want to do it, and they're 100% certain that they're not going to do it, it wouldn't matter what you brought to them. They're just looking for an excuse. But for people who actually have a genuine, hey, I found some information on the internet, an article about this being this, that, and the other, you know, I like to handle that up front beforehand. You're going to find negative information on the internet. It's just the way it is about anything that has to do with a people-to-people marketing business, with companies being taken over, with companies being acquired. You're going to see that. You're going to see all kinds of negative things on the internet. Handle it up front with people, and you won't get that as much. So, Lori, thanks for being here. Danielle, thank you for that as well. Let's see. I'm just going to go to the chat here as well to see if we have any. Am I going to the chat? No, I'm going to the participants in case we have any hands being raised or anything like that. So feel free if you have a question that you want to verbally handle as well. We can do that. We've got just a few minutes left. I don't want to take up everybody's day, but I hope this is helpful information for everyone, because it's very important to be ahead of it and to handle things on the internet before they become an issue. It's just plain and simple how it works. So Laura, thanks for being here as well. We'll see you in Punta Cana pretty soon, and Jeff as well. So we're really excited about it. All right. Why did the old company reviews go so bad? Because they didn't run the company properly. We had nothing to do with it. I don't know. They ran their company the wrong way. They just did business the wrong way. That's plain and simple what it is. Had they done business the right way, or responded to complaints, or been concerned about that, then great. It would have been a different story, but they didn't do it. And that's in the past. That happened decades ago. A lot of that. That's from decades ago. So yes, appreciate that. Let's see. Ned, thanks. Appreciate it. Laura, is it Keim? I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but I appreciate you being here. Barbara, thank you as well. Again, Lori, Danielle, and Steve. And did I miss anybody? And Mark, yeah, thanks for being here, you guys. Okay, we'll get this posted up and onto the YouTube channel. So thanks for being here, and we will talk to you soon. Have a good night, a good afternoon, I should say. This is Tony Procopio from New Fairfield, Connecticut. Over and out. Everybody have a good one. We'll talk to you soon.